No intro today, folks. We're getting straight into this.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. I've also started uploading some content onto Rumble too, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster over there. But let's take a look at what the makers of Lollipop Chainsaw had to say about their upcoming game.
Before we get into that, I am very interested to see why there'll be no DEI, but we all know back in the day, Lollipop Chainsaw was the best. And I'm certain some of you have played it either on PS3 or Xbox. Honestly, what I want to see is different characters. Yes, I know Juliet Starling, I believe her name was. We can only use her, but I wanted to use other characters such as Nick or Juliet's dad, sisters, you know, the whole shebang. And most importantly, let's hope Collective Shout doesn't censor this game.
Here is the page where the owners of this franchise made their announcement about the sequel and their development philosophy. Let's read it. It says, they are pleased to announce the launch of two major new projects in the Lollipop Chainsaw series, a brand new game and an anime adaptation. Lollipop Chainsaw is a zombie action game originally released 2012, known for its dark humor and graphic gore. In 2024, the remastered edition, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, was released to positive acclaim. With cumulative series sales surpassing 1.5 million units, the title has enjoyed enduring support from fans over the years. Under the strong partnership between Nada Holdings and Dragami Games, development is already underway on a brand new Lollipop Chainsaw title that both preserves and builds upon the appeal of the original. With a firm commitment to honoring the spirit of the original work, the development team includes key staff members who were involved in the previous title. The new project is also being developed with close attention to fan feedback. As with the original, the new title aims to recreate a world rich in dark humor. The development process will prioritize staying true to the distinctive tone and spirit of the original work without imposing excessive creative restrictions in the name of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that right there is a straightforward rebuke of the progressive shit-lib mentality that has run roughshod over the industry for the past decade or so. Do not expect Juliet Starling to be race swapped.
Let's hope they don't, but I have faith in Dragami Game. Although I am 100% certain that Lollipop Chainsaw Sequel will not be reviewed. Yes, in trailers they will have millions and millions of players, or in this case millions of views, but when it comes to the game's release, journalists and critics, they won't review it. But users, aka gamers, they will review it. To the people at Dragami Games, and I hope you know this, that for your sequel, first of all, do not implement de novo, okay? De novo will impact performance, and it does not protect your games from piracy. And secondly, always listen to fans. Don't listen to critics or perhaps woke consultancy firm, okay? But let's pray it will be better than the first one. For me, I like to use all players, or in this case, all characters. Not just Juliet Starling, but her family as well.
Or to transition into a man, or to put on 70 pounds in order to avoid upsetting the gluttonous, hedonistic feminists out there. Clearly this is a game that is comfortable simply being itself, and you can't blame them for ignoring these hive-mind cockroaches in the gaming industry who obviously do not want them to succeed. After all, doing things that these game journalists approve of is not exactly a pathway to success these days. Look at Dragon Age the Veilguard. We covered how recently that game was given the Game of the Year award at the Gaming Awards, where they celebrate LGBT stuff in games. But all of the praise and accolades that Dragon Age the Veilguard got didn't exactly cause it to do well in sales, despite being the sequel in a massive franchise which should have sold many millions of copies. Dragon Age the Veilguard sold like crap because people reject gender ideological nonsense that the game was clearly trying to push on.
And also when Taj says she's non-binary, that really upsets people. Seriously, Do these people even know what fiction, or perhaps in this case fantasy, is about? I'm 100% certain whoever made Dragon Age Veilguard cannot distinguish themselves from either fiction or reality. But let's keep moving forward.
Meanwhile, a game like Stellar Blade was initially crapped on by these same game journalists who claimed that depicting Eve as they do in that game was somehow harming women. But look at how well Stellar Blade has sold. That game has over 2 million copies sold on the PC, despite releasing on that platform over a year after the game's initial launch. So, a studio like Dragami can either worry about chasing after the awards and praise of game journalists and end up like Dragon Age the Veilguard, or they can strive to be like Stellar Blade, which the journos despised, though now they're claiming to love it, but they can be like Stellar Blade and just try to please the gamers, the actual consumers of the product. This is a no-brainer if you ask me, especially when you throw in the contentious relationship that Lollipop Chainsaw has had with these game journalists over the past year. Look at this message that they had to issue last year. It says right here, "It has been brought to our attention that there are claims we did not send out review codes for Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, and that is the reason why there are few media reviews for the game available." This is simply not true. We sent out codes to over 60 media entities a week before launch, as well as to numerous Steam curators. The inflammatory accusation that we were trying to hide something by not sending out review codes is factually wrong. We cannot speculate on why certain media outlets haven't published reviews, but the suggestion that we withheld codes to avoid critique is false. So, with that in mind, considering that this was the excuse that a lot of these outlets pushed in order to get us to back off from talking about how they didn't review this game.
I don't know if you know this, IGN reposted their old article from years ago. That's the reason why you know they didn't cover it. Here, let me give you another game for example. Marvel Rivals. How come that game never get reviewed? It was a live service. How come games such as Destiny, Overwatch 2, Call of Duty get reviewed when they launched? No jelly, folks. Ask yourself that. In any case, Lollipop Chainsaw, or either Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, or whatever it is, if they didn't get reviewed, or in this case they have low reviews, then I'll cover it. I will cover that game in a heartbeat. I do this only one thing, okay? I'm supporting not just indie and AA, but I'm also supporting Asian-made games, okay? Because I am, in fact, Asian. And I will support anything. And you'll be seeing mostly AA indie games and mostly Eastern games in every footage you're seeing right now, okay? And again, like I said before, for Souls game, I'm still new to this genre, and it's still taking me time to master it. So, wish me luck. For the record, who the hell says Dragami game didn't send out review codes? Generally, I have to know who the hell says that. This is why they say this. A claim without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Mommy!
Leave a like and subscribe if you want woke or anti-woke detective or want to see me play games. Visit my second, third, and fourth channel up here or link in the description.